Hello and welcome back to another episode of Things Wright Ace Attorney. Just for all, we are continuing with the trial and continuing with the second witness of the trial. So yeah, now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Heh. G-O-T-C-H-A. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, edgy boy, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should have been more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet it was the wicked witch of the witness stand. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all the court needs to know. Shh. I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, madam. No. Please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say, that you are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that Engard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in the real man, Juan Corrida. But those two were the same age. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of their room that night. Very well, please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Ed Chipu. What you witnessed. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was Matt Engard. He was trying to sneak his way out to Juan's room. So Mr. Engard came out from the victim's room. See, it has to be him. He's the murderer. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Miss Oldberg, what was your pose on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show, but I refused to help. I have you know, it was for that lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to the hang around the victim's door. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Something you were interested in. And just what was that? It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course. Miss Edward, was it that thing she was interested in? I have no idea. Despite gossip, I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip. But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. It looks like we shouldn't force it right now. And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door? Did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time? Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. Then, would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corridor's room? I have no idea. I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am. Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of Paul Brown's room. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of the room, he was... Yes, he was. I'm too scared, can't say name out loud. Oh, what would give to have Francisca whipped right about now? Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. It was Matt Engard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Joan's room. You saw my client, are you sure about that? Yes, see. Really? Annoying brat. When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a little bit further. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now that, what was it? Oh yeah, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he was always wearing, that racing jacket. He was wearing that at detention center too. That thing meant for nothing but seducing women out of the pantaloons. Man. Right. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important. Don't you see it, Mr. Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request that the witness said about the jacket to be appended to her testimony. I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness, please. Oh well. I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. Okay, it was flashy racing jacket, honestly, it's all just for show. Okay, so there was in evidence, a hakama. I'm just gonna Google fast what a hakama is, because I don't think it's a fancy jacket. Yeah, I don't think he... I don't think he had those kinds of pants on. Or so like rock, but... one button. Miss Oldbag. What? Don't say my name for no reason. Just wait a moment. And do you know what this is? It's the button number 2 on the Jamming Ninja's costume. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance. Give it here. Give it here. If you don't give it to me, I punish you with this. Ta 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 ta. Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to what a button covered in blood. To want a button covered. This button was discovered in Mr. Engel's body. Mr. Engel's body during a full body search. See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal Engard. It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants. See? See? And Engard is the nickel samurai. Witness. Now, it may just be me and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you just say that the defendant, Matt Engels, was wearing his usual racing jacket? I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the... Now hold your tongue still. There for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Engel, the man, but Mr. Engel, the nickel samurai. But wait. Did she just say something like really important in that huge monologue? Like talking like but when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway. Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about. Edgepool, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for change. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, if you insist. I should be the one sighing, not you. Who I saw. Engar, yes, and now I remember. The nickel samurai, that's right, it was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show, right? After the crime, do you know? So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside the costume. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such cruel things. But the possibility does exist. Young'uns today. I told you there is no way it was anyone else. How do you know that? Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. At least she's just as delightful as a witness as she was a year ago. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Engard, yes, now I remember. Will you please get on with your testimony? Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I start singing at the top of my lungs. What? A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the nickel samurai. She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Miss Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you be good and stick to just the facts. Okay, you promise, right? Right, I'll be sending that bill from the chewing gum on your office at a later date. Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum. The Nickel Samurai, that's right, it was. I saw. Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago you said he was wearing his racing jacket and now he's not? Not too long ago. Then let me ask you this: when you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper? My dream, huh? Well, I want to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public court. So what? See? And look at where you are now. You're not a Judge Wagner. You are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier. Who put any weight into things like that? The now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past. Since when did the court become theatrical over testimonies? All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough? Press Olberg claims that it was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Okay. I got an achievement for that. And why would that be? That way no one could see his face, of course. But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more. You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say. Isn't that what you're always doing to me? I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage, so... Was there anyone else scheduled to appear on the post-ceremony show? Well, all the contestants was supposed to go on stage in a friendly jester thing. And that includes the jamming ninja. Of course, it includes him. That's why when Engels came out of the adjunct room, I didn't give it a second thought. I see. Well, anyway. So he must have been wearing that. Just looking. Seems like me. So he must have worn that. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai. As showy as ever. Haven't been saying that from the very beginning. Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. There's a contradiction in here, testimony, and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Knife and... No! That was not my evidence thingy. Wrong button, damn it. Person, just want to look at this picture. Yeah. There. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife, big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important in this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you are driving at? That's exactly what I'm driving at. What are you driving at? And whose car are you driving? If Mr. Engel really was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints off the knife right off. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There is no way he would do something like that. However, there is one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in the costume as a Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant had no intention of murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show, which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory? So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? There is a contradiction. The knife, right? This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Engel was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. This knife, this was used by Miss Engel at dinner. Yes, we did establish that, which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Miss Corridor, I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant had no intent to murder. If that's true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprint should be all over. Fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order. I say order in the court. Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? It's to frame my client, Mr. Engard, of course. To frame. Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little bit too hard on this one? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Witness. Looks like I made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgipo? Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but are you saying you mixed up Miss Engard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about it that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that for sure. She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then, who were you waiting around then? That's top secret to anyone outside security. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corridor, am I correct, witness? Ha ha ha. That the way you think you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness. Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of? So Albert was waiting around in front of the victim's door. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse at Miss Corridor. Maybe Phoenix? Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag. You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Okay. It's Adrian or I don't think there is any other choice but her. Who is this person? This is Adrian Adus, Mr. Engard's manager. But why would the defendant manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in the circulation, Your Honor. Oh, this is, I see. They just seems to be really into the article. If it can be called such a thing, then this manager with the A initials AA, are you saying it's Andrew and Andrews? Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. Witness? What in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I got some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation in secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself, personal reason and all that. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide. I see. Well then, witness, please testify about this secret information. Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of you young'uns. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. Secret information. That Engard is one evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court. What? Nobody's about gossip. And isn't there saying the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before. Miss Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposed is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right, Engard is nothing but your average full-blood youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. That Engard is one evil man. You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander. But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars with Miss AA. But the manager of the magazine this came from is gossip land. What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you swear to me that the news is 100% truth. Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip. Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright. Discrimination, when did I do anything like that? Anyway, Engard will never get me to say touché. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. A scandal? What do you mean by that? You're dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days? No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much. Well, that Engard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. You don't have any proof that Mr. Engard did any such thing. You must be suffering from the shock of hearing the truth. And now since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right. You're right, I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you. Alright then, Sonny, show me what you got. Can you show me proof that Engard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan? Can you show me proof that Engard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan? Do I have such proof? Decline the offer to present. I don't have anything to offer. See, just as I thought. Are you lecturing me about saying things without proof? You just give me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy. Me and my big mouth. That's the way the cookie crumbled for you now, anyway. I cannot condone such tricks, so I took action. So what do you mean you took action? Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once the slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson, something you young'uns need. You were going to teach her a good lesson. I was going to make her eat the damaging beans of my ray gun. Like no, stop. Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through that door that night. Wait. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over. The secret information that no one else knows yet. Is that true? Then how do you know about this secret information? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out. How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? Stolen at the night of the murder, tabloid alcohol victim. So no one else is supposed to know about this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag? Why are you talking that, looking at me like that? Stop that, witness. I hate to say, but this is how you came to acquire the secret, isn't it? This investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Ah yes, I remember that mischievous girl. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself. She reported such a thing. On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews. What? Outrageous idea, you say? No, I said impressions. Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless? Ah, that's it. That's the note. No, you see, this is something completely different. This is top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note. I'm a huge fan of Yuan, that's why. That infamous puffy hair whippersnapper. She's working with the evil Engard. She said so herself. Engard is I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking that she had written. Echipu, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out, like an angel I am. It's only a little piece of paper. I never taken anything else before. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can't overlook just this once. Just looked like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? If I let up her now, she'd get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Oldbag, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. Miss Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it? A camera? Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie, $600 camera disappeared on me." What? Witness? What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera too. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? That's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people. I think your definition of borrowing is a little off. I saw that woman's business card and that's when I noticed it said Celine Bag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things. Bailiff, check this camera photos, hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Miss Edgeworth, what do we have? This is the only photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Please present it to the court. This is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you, that's the guy I saw. This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. Lot of photo added to the court record. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant, however. In his own confession, Miss Engels clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that's the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have to examine every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comment, Mr. White. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree with this photo is decided against your client? If this photo really is decided, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here, I blow it. Then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one rule of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, let's check it first. There is something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defendants to debunk this photo even with a bunker buster. Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Anyway, please look at the photo one more time. If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct? Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where did she take this photo from anyway? Where in the heck did she take this photo anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange? What about it? I would like to direct the court attention to this one area right here. What are you pointing to? His ankles? If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't. And what does that mean? The costume person in the photo could not have been Mr. Engard. What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is. Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. His socks. You can see his socks. Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack. Then I haven't damaged this case at all. Miss Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt Engard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this. What? Right? I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Engard. In that case, who is this photo of? Who is the person wearing the Naked Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? Let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Andrews, if you want to know who that Naked Samurai is, it is none other than this woman. And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short, and she can freely move in out of the Mr. Engard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engard in that night. And how does all that add up? It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Engard's fingerprints all over it. The knife that was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want to write? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to the indict. Mr. Andean Andrews in the murder of Joan Corda. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Order. It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Miss Edgeworth, yes, Your Honor, this court is issuing a subpoena. I did not pronounce that right, for Miss Andean Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. What do you mean? If Andean Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day. If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya. Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn. Raise an objection. Now then. Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. We must pass the verdict today. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony. I abhor wasting such valuable time, Edgeworth. Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But we cannot continue due to the unexpected development. Sir, unexpected development? I think you're underestimating me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? That Miss Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Andean Andrews is all happening according to plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Andean Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. This is the next witness. She's the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that man. So I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Well, we will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Miss Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. And adios. We see each other next episode.